going on, guys? It's your boy B-Date, and I know what y'all thinking, where's Bailey at? He actually just left to go back home for winter break, you know what I'm saying? Finals is over. But you know, we still got stuff to talk about, we still got stuff to dissect. And first of all, I want to talk about the team that's right here on my head, because they look bad, okay? And I'm talking about the Los Angeles Rams. They played the Chicago Bears Sunday night, and it did not look good for them at all. Now, I know that's Bailey's Super Bowl team, and so far, up until last night, they looked like by far the best team in the NFL. And you know what I'm saying? Last night, I don't know if it was an anomaly. I don't know if it's a sign of when they play other good teams, good defenses in particular, if they just can't handle it or what, but it almost looked like a major red flag, like very concerning to me. A few points that I want to highlight from that game is one, defense really does win championships, okay? You look at a few of these high-powered offenses against these high-powered defenses, like strength on strength. You look at a few of these matchups and you notice a common thread, okay? For the most part, the defense limits the offense from, you know, being as explosive as normal, and they also force turnovers, okay? You look at the New Orleans-Dallas game that we covered in our last video. Game ends on a Drew Brees pick, but besides that, Drew Brees doesn't hit 150 passing yards. He only threw for 127. The rushing game of the Saints was stopped pretty bad. You know what I'm saying? They didn't rush for over 80 yards that game. And a lot of the things, those things happened again tonight. Another example, you got Kansas City. First time they played Denver, when they went to Denver on a Monday night game, Mahomes only had 2 total touchdowns that game. He still threw for 300 yards on some MVP, you feel me? But he definitely wasn't himself. And that high-powered Chiefs offense struggled to put up points, even though they did get to 27. They did struggle throughout that game to play with the same rhythm and pace that they play with. And I saw a lot of that in the Rams-Bears game. The Bears defense dictated the game. And even though they only won by 9 points, it was 6-15, kind of yucky score. They dominated that game, okay? And how do you do that? You force turnovers and you stop the run. And that's what Chicago did. They held the LA Rams with arguably a top 3 offensive line and the best rusher in the league right now. They contained them to under 80 rushing yards. The exact number is 61 rushing yards they allowed, and Gurley was only responsible for 28 of those yards, okay? And I'm not so much mad as Gurley as I am at McVay, but we're gonna get into that a little later. Another thing, they forced Jared Goff into 4 INTs. Now, yeah, a couple of those picks were like kind of unfortunate. The one where Whitworth stepped on his foot, tough. But honestly, if that throw wasn't getting through, if you look at the replay, the one that Roquan Smith picked off, that pass was not getting through. And then the one to end the game was just bad. There's one at the end of the half, he's just trying to throw a little Hail Mary, whatever. But still, like, they forced 4 INTs out of him, sacked him 3 times, and they were in the backfield on a lot of occasions. Khalil Mack's constantly drawing double teams, which freed up Leonard Floyd to get all up in the backfield, you know what I'm saying? They had a total of 8 QB hurries in that game. It was just a great defensive showing from the Bears, and they almost reminded me of those old 06, 05 Bears teams where they were just like, we're gonna run the ball and we're gonna stop you from running it, and make you one-dimensional, and that's really what they did. The Bears themselves ran for 194 on the ground, and what's so scary for the Rams about this game, leading into my next point, is the Bears didn't even have a great offensive game. You know what I'm saying? Trubisky was almost just as bad as Goff. He threw 3 picks. But I'll give him a little bit of a pass because it was his first game returning into the lineup. But this game could have gotten ugly if he was just decent. He wasn't even decent, and they still dominated the game because of their defense and because they were able to run the ball so effectively. Shout outs to the Bears for sure. You know what I'm saying? You guys are going to be tough in the playoffs, especially if you're able to somehow sneak into that 2 seed. I don't see it happening, but you at least at bare minimum have one home playoff game, and playing there, Soldier Field, cold weather, yeah, good luck. But I really just want to address the Rams right now. You know what I'm saying? By no means am I saying you guys are out of it, but sports is a very week-to-week basis thing, and this week you guys looked like a bottom 10 team in the league. You really did. You couldn't run, as I highlighted. 61 rushing yards. Not gonna get it. Goff's throwing 4 picks, but more so into all of that, man, I think Sean McVay is kind of psyching himself out a little bit. He's a genius. He's a mastermind of offense, but it almost is like he's getting too prideful in that sense and forgetting, I have Todd Gurley on my team, you know what I'm saying? So McVay, I guess to you, I would just say, sometimes, all the left to right stuff is cool, all the play action is cool, but it's time to stop playing and start giving Todd Gurley the rock, you know what I'm saying? A couple plays in the game on those inside zones, he was busting them open, 12 yard here. He had a catch in the flat. Leonard Floyd was in coverage on him, and he's just like, no, get off me, I'm mad because I'm not getting the ball. So I think he can't have 11 carries, which he had on Sunday. He can't only give Todd Gurley 11 carries. That's bad. So I put that on McVay. I think like I said, it was almost a pride thing where he was like, no, Jared Goff, you're gonna be good because I'm gonna make you good. And when Goff is struggling like he was struggling, that's what Todd Gurley is for. I can't stress that enough. That's what Todd Gurley is for. He's there to calm the ship and just say, okay, I'll get you guys 4 or 5 yards. Albeit he didn't have a great game, 11 for 28. I know it. But man, maybe it's because he couldn't get into any sort of a rhythm. And the plays that he did run the ball were kind of predictable runs. So I'm going to give Gurley a pass and put more of that blame on McVay. Yeah, man, I guess to wrap it all up, I would just say Rams and Rams fans, you guys are fine. You know what I'm saying? I got the hat for a reason. You guys are doing okay. You guys just need to simple things down.
What? Bro, what are you talking about?
Simplify things. You guys need to just simplify things sometimes. And don't forget you have Todd Gurley in your backfield, you know what I'm saying? And really don't forget that in these cold weather and low scoring games, running the ball and running it and just running it is gonna be more beneficial than throwing Jared Goff back there with him throwing picks left and right. He damn near thought he was playing for the Bears the way he was throwing those passes out there. It wasn't good. So I would just say, Rams, as far as Sunday night, you guys don't deserve to be on my head at all. But don't panic, you know what I'm saying? Might have been a bad game. Might have been Goff not used to the cold weather, whatever. But y'all better get it together because them New Orleans boys, they look like they righted the ship. The Cowboys won, you know what I'm saying? They're hot right now going into the playoffs. The Bears, as I just highlighted, beat y'all, and their defense ain't going nowhere. Barring an injury, their defense is solid, and it's gonna be solid. And defense is the one thing that travels. You know what I mean? I would just say, simplify things. Don't forget where your bread is buttered. Okay, don't forget number 30 is on your team and you can use them more than 11 times. But mainly just don't make it harder than it needs to be. Okay, like you have Gurley, you got Cooks, you got Robert Woods who's playing out of his mind. But don't forget that they feed off of Gurley and not the other way around. Okay, don't try and make you guys a primarily passing team. You guys need to run the ball with the best running back in the NFL. Okay, this has been a short little episode of Swing the Rock. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Any comments, concerns,